Welcome to ET English, the unique English language learning feature of the Education Times. This recording is brought to you by Achini Abegunwadana and her team at London Academy of Speech. The Education Times comes to you every week with the Sunday Times, a leading publication of Vijaya Newspapers Limited. ET English introduces a unique way of learning English through stories. It has a short prose passage taken from a novel, a picture story, both of which are being published in episodes every week. All the lessons and activities that are given in the feature are from these two stories. Many English scholars accept that when you learn a language through stories, you remember them better. Further, the picture story will complement this by adding the visual component as well, where it will help the readers create vivid images in their minds, helping them to remember those dialogues and words through those incidents. The first episode of ET English appeared in the Education Times section on the 13th of September 2015. Now, we are going to bring the audio version of this feature where you can listen to the stories and lessons. First, the picture story, secondly, the novel, and finally, the lessons. To get the best out of this feature, we suggest that you get a copy of the Education Times and also a dictionary. It will also help if you have read the feature once or twice on your own. At the same time, try to get the correct pronunciation by listening to the audio attentively and repeatedly and trying to read it after every dialogue, emulating the voices that you hear. You will now listen to the ET English lesson number 45 that appeared in the Education Times section of the Sunday Times on the 24th of July 2016. This page will be uploaded to the ET English website on the 1st of August 2016. Igenas, written by Ranjit Gunaratna and illustrated by Anton B. Pereira. Episode 35.
My Ake has been selected as a violinist for a concert.
Wow, that's great. I know Nimali is very talented. But you told me that you need a personal favor.
Yes, Aki doesn't have her own violin. She borrows one from a friend for practice.
Well, now I understand. I'll try to do something about it.
Thanks, Sahasaya. I really appreciate it.
That afternoon at Sahasa's house.
Akka, are you still going to that music class?
No, Putha, she gave it up a long time ago.
So, Akka, if you're no longer using your violin, shall we donate it?
Fine with me. But who wants a violin?
The sister of the captain of our junior cricket team. They're poor.
It's a very good thing to donate what you don't use. Meanwhile, at Nimali's house.
I told you, I will do something to get a violin. And I did it.
But I didn't want you to go begging, Malli.
Requesting help from a friend is not begging, Akka.
I agree with Lokuputha. But
what, Amma?
Now, let's listen to episode 12 of Ratnapala's Scarecrow, a story taken from The Mirror of Paradise by Asghar Hussain. Apuhami alone knew what had actually happened. Late one night a few weeks ago, he had crept into that land, bored a hole in the trunk of the coconut tree and poured in a solution of sodium arsenite. The chemical was obtained from a cousin who applied it to poison the old trees in his coconut plantation in Kurunegala. This act had the desired effect. Soon, the Pambayaka was being blamed for other occurrences. It was claimed that a cow belonging to a villager named Punchirala was giving less milk. Apuhami's nephew suffered from a bout of diarrhea, and some mango trees in the area were infested with weevils. Lessons for this week. Activity 1. Read the text and match the responses in column B with the questions in column A. Column A, questions. Number 1. Who knew what had actually happened? 2. How did he know it? 3. What did he do? 4. From whom did he obtain the chemical? 5. Who suffered from diarrhea? Column B, responses. A. Because he did it himself. B. He crept into that land, bored a hole in the trunk of the coconut tree and poured in a solution of sodium arsenite. C. Apuhami's nephew. D. He obtained it from one of his cousins. E. Apuhami.
Activity 2. Read the text and select similar words for the words given below. 1. Truly. 2. Got. 3. Toxin. 4. Vermin. 5. Zone.
Activity 3. Give the past tense of the following verbs from the text. Number 1, know. Number 2, pour. Number 3, obtain. Number 4, suffer. Number 5, are infested.
Activity 4. Read the picture story and underline the correct word or phrase in the sentences given below. 1. Rashan's Akki is Nimali, Neeta, Nuvani. 2. Rashan asked Sahas, Neeta, Nuvani for a personal favor. 3. Nimali, Neeta, Nuvani owns a violin. 4. Neeta, Rashan, Sahas said, "It is a very good thing to donate what you don't use." 5. Nimali, Neeta, Nuvani said, "But I didn't want you to go begging, Malli."
Now, let's look at the word bank for this week. Most of the meanings given are relevant to the context of the stories. 1. Borrow. To take and use something that belongs to somebody else and return it to them at a later time. 2. Appreciate. To recognize the good qualities of somebody or something. 3. Donate. To give money, food, clothes, etc. to somebody, or something, especially a charity. 4. Alone, without any other people. 5. Actually. Used in speaking to emphasize a fact or a comment, or that something is really true. 6. Crept. To move with your body close to the ground. To move slowly on your hands and knees. 7. Bow. To make a hole in something. 8. Trunk. The thick main stem of a tree that the branches grow from. 9. Sodium. A chemical element. 10. Obtain. Get something, especially by making an effort. 11. Cousin. A child of your aunt or uncle. 12. Act. A particular thing that somebody does. 13. Desire. A strong wish to have or do something. 14. Blame. To think or say that somebody or something is responsible for something bad. 15. Occurrence. Something that happens. 16. Nephew. The son of your brother or sister. The son of your husband's or wife's brother or sister. 17. Suffer. To be badly affected by a disease, pain, sadness, a lack of something. 18. Diarrhea. An illness in which waste matter is emptied from the bowels much more frequently than normal in liquid form. 19. Infest. To exist in large numbers in a particular place, often causing damage or disease. 20. Weevil. A small insect with a hard shell that eats grain, nuts, and other seeds and destroys crops. Now, let's have a look at the answers for last week's lessons. Activity 1. Number 1. The paddy harvest will be ready for reaping in about 2 months. 2. It will be worse than having a group of barren women walk across the field. 3. The first answer, Appuhami. 4. They were almost certain that Pambayaka would smother the rising crop. 5. He turned the scarecrow in various directions. 6. A rumor went around that an evil spirit had possessed the Pambayaka. The answers for activity 2. 1. Struck. 2. Left. 3. Had. 4. Meant. 5. Began. 6. Fell. The answers for activity 3. 1. 1 week. It would face north, the next week west, then south or east. 2. With that demon out there, the effect will be worse. 3. Then something happened that confirmed their fears. 4. Ratnapala had the habit of turning his scarecrow in various directions. 5. Now a rumor went around that an evil spirit had possessed the Pambayaka. The answers for activity 4. 1. B. 2. D. 3. A. 4. E. 5. C. Dear listeners, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our recording brought to you by the London Academy of Speech. You are welcome to give us your feedback and suggestions on the telephone numbers and the email address given in the ET English feature in the Education Times section. This recording has been voiced by Achini together with Aloka, Channa and Nashali. We shall meet you again with ET English Lesson 46. Until then, goodbye and happy learning.